Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers, where today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and fascinating stories in the world of coin collecting. A story that revolves around a small, often overlooked coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now, completely unnoticed. The 1981 United States 1-cent penny. At face value, this copper-colored coin might seem like nothing more than a simple, everyday piece of pocket change, worth just a single cent. But for collectors, numismatists, and error hunters alike, this particular penny, under the right circumstances, has reached staggering values, with one known specimen valued at an unbelievable $31.9 million. You might be wondering, how could such a common coin command a price tag that rivals some of the world's rarest artifacts? The answer lies in a rare convergence of mint errors, die varieties, composition anomalies, historical context, and mint mark inconsistencies that make certain examples of the 1981 penny far more than just spare change. To understand the incredible worth of this specific coin, we have to begin by looking back at the historical context of the early 1980s. The 1981 penny was struck during a pivotal time when the United States Mint was preparing to transition from a predominantly copper composition to a copper-plated zinc composition that would officially take over in 1982. During this transition, test strikes, experimental planchets, and transitional error coins were all possibilities, and that's where some of the value begins to emerge. Certain 1981 pennies were struck using the copper-plated zinc planchets intended for the following year, creating transitional error coins that are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. Furthermore, some 1981 pennies show signs of double die obverse, where the image of Lincoln or the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date appear to be doubled due to a misalignment or misproduction of the die. These double die errors can significantly increase the value of a penny, especially when they are clear, dramatic, and easily visible without magnification. In the case of the 1981 penny, these errors have been reported in varying degrees across different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and each carries its own unique rarity and appeal. Adding to the complexity is the presence of mint mark anomalies. For instance, some 1981 pennies feature repunched mint marks, known as RPMs, where the mint mark, such as the D for Denver or S for San Francisco, was stamped more than once in a slightly shifted position, creating a shadowed or duplicated appearance. These errors occur during the die preparation process and are of significant interest to specialists. Even more fascinating are the cases where mint marks are entirely missing or where coins bear incorrect or misapplied marks, suggesting they were either struck with the wrong die or somehow bypassed quality control at the mint. Again, highly unusual events that elevate the coin's collectability. Another layer to this mystery is the potential for off-center strikes, broad strikes, or clipped planchets in 1981 penny examples. These types of minting errors result from mechanical failures during the striking process, leading to coins that are misshapen, partially struck, or even missing portions of their design. These coins are instantly recognizable and highly desirable, especially when the date and key features are still visible. The value can skyrocket when such a mechanical error combines with a doubled die or transitional metal composition. Moreover, the condition of the coin plays an enormous role in its valuation. Coins that have been preserved in pristine condition, showing no signs of circulation, with original mint luster and sharp detail, can command exponentially higher prices than worn or damaged examples. The coin grading scale, ranging from Pro 1 to Mint State 70, is used by professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC to evaluate a coin's condition. A 1981 penny with a high mint state grade and one or more rare errors could very well be among the most valuable coins in existence. Some collectors have even uncovered examples in original bank-wrapped rolls, untouched for decades, containing multiple error coins or unusual features that were never intended for public release. And then there's the question of provenance. Coins that come from notable collections have been featured in numismatic literature, or were part of historic hoards, often carry additional value simply due to their story and documented history. The 1981 penny that was valued at $31.9 million is rumored to have a combination of factors so unique and unparalleled, possibly including a one-of-a-kind minting anomaly, perfect condition, and a documented history tracing back to a high-profile discovery, that it has achieved mythic status among collectors. It serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary-looking object can become extraordinarily valuable under the right circumstances. And it's not just about one coin. The existence of such a specimen encourages collectors to examine every 1981 penny they encounter with careful scrutiny. Is the composition off? Does it feel lighter or heavier than usual? Is the strike off-center? Is there doubling on the letters or numbers? Are there inconsistencies in the mint mark? Is the edge irregular? These are the kinds of questions that can lead to life-changing discoveries, especially in a hobby where knowledge, patience, and a keen eye are rewarded. Additionally, rumors persist in the coin community that several high-profile 1981 era coins remain in private hands, ungraded and undocumented, waiting to be uncovered. These unassuming treasures could be sitting in coffee cans, old drawers, or inherited collections, completely overlooked. The dream of finding such a coin continues to fuel the passion of countless numismatists who hunt through pocket change, estate sales, and flea markets, always hoping for that elusive jackpot. And let's not forget the influence of auctions. When rare coins go up for bid at prestigious auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers, they often set new benchmarks for value and bring previously obscure varieties into the spotlight. A single televised or well-publicized sale can ignite interest in a particular year or era, causing prices to rise dramatically and even ordinary coins to gain newfound attention. The 1981 penny has benefited from this effect multiple times, with bidding wars pushing values higher and higher. Moreover, with advancements in technology and widespread access to high-resolution imaging tools, collectors are now better equipped than ever to identify and authenticate rare features in coins, increasing the chances of finding overlooked errors or varieties. Online communities and forums also play a crucial role in sharing discoveries, verifying authenticity, and spreading knowledge among enthusiasts of all levels. As a result, the field of coin collecting is becoming more inclusive, dynamic, and accessible, and coins like the 1981 penny continue to capture the imagination of new generations. It's a thrilling blend of history, art, science, and luck that keeps people engaged. So if you've got a jar of change sitting around, don't be so quick to cash it in. That humble-looking 1981 penny might just be hiding a mint error that could change your life. Whether it's a dramatic double die, a rare composition, a mysterious mint mark, or a stunning off-center strike, each element adds a layer of intrigue, and potentially a massive payday. In the end, the story of the 1981 1-cent coin is a perfect example of how something small can carry enormous value, not just financially but historically and culturally. It represents a moment in time when the minting process was undergoing change, when mistakes happened, and when those mistakes, rare though they may be, gave rise to one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. So keep your eyes peeled, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a single penny. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of rare coins. And who knows, maybe your next trip through the change drawer will lead you to a $31.9 million treasure. We're diving deep into the incredible story behind a small but mighty coin, the 1998 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny from the United States, a coin that has captured the attention of numismatists and casual collectors alike due to its jaw-dropping value of up to $11.4 million in rare cases, making it one of the most surprising stories in coin collecting history. While its face value reads just 1 cent, what lies beneath its copper-plated surface tells a far richer and more fascinating story, a story woven with minting mistakes, rare error combinations, and mysteries that continue to intrigue and astonish collectors all over the world. But how does such a tiny coin earn such a massive price tag? That's exactly what we're going to explore today, so buckle up for a detailed look at how a seemingly ordinary 1998 D-penny became an icon of hidden treasure, unexpected errors, and once-in-a-lifetime discoveries. First, we need to look at the origins of the coin. Struck at the Denver Mint in 1998, this particular penny is part of the familiar Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the penny features the bust of President Lincoln while the reverse carried the Lincoln Memorial from 1959 until 2008. And it's this reverse design that often plays a critical role in determining the authenticity and rarity of certain error coins, including our star of the show today. Now, the 1998 D-penny itself had a high mintage, with hundreds of millions produced, so on the surface, there doesn't appear to be anything too special about it. However, hidden among the massive mintage are extremely rare examples that contain minting errors so bizarre and so unique that they transform the value of the coin from a mere 1 cent into millions of dollars. One of the most fascinating elements involves the D-mint mark itself, indicating the Denver Mint, which in some of these rare error coins shows signs of doubling, misplacement, or even being struck with a mint mark intended for another location. These mint mark anomalies are highly sought after because they signify a break from protocol, a lapse in the otherwise strictly controlled minting process. For example, if a 1998 D-penny appears to have the mint mark in the wrong place or shows signs of being hand-punched, an older practice that was mostly phased out by the late 1980s but occasionally made its way into later years through mistakes, this becomes an extremely valuable error. Even more intriguing is the possibility that a 1998 D-penny was struck using a die that was intended for proof coins or from a die that had been altered or damaged, creating a doubling effect on either the obverse or reverse. Doubling is a type of error where design elements like letters, numbers, or facial features appear twice due to a misalignment during the hubbing or striking process. In some rare 1998 D-pennies, collectors have reported strong doubling on Lincoln's profile, especially around his chin, nose, and bow tie, as well as on the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," and even on the date itself. These double die errors are among the most valuable types of coin errors, and when they appear clearly and without post-mint damage, they can skyrocket the coin's value to astronomical levels. Some examples that have surfaced have fetched tens of thousands of dollars, and speculative collectors estimate that the most pristine and rarest of these coins, particularly those combining several errors at once, could command figures well into the millions. But let's go even further into what makes these coins so unique. Occasionally, coins are struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the blank piece of metal intended for another denomination entirely was used for a penny. A 1998 D-penny struck on a dime planchet, for example, would be thinner, have a silvery appearance, and display an unusual strike quality. Even more thrilling are instances where the coin shows signs of off-center strikes, broad strikes, or clipped planchets. All errors that occur when the coin is misaligned or incomplete due to mechanical malfunction. An off-center strike means the design is shifted to one side, sometimes severely, leaving a blank crescent shape on the coin. A broad strike, meanwhile, happens when the coin is struck without the collar that usually forms the edge, causing it to spread out more than normal and lack a defined rim. A clipped planchet occurs when a portion of the blank was missing before striking, leaving the coin with a curved edge or a visible gap. Individually, each of these errors can elevate a coin's value to hundreds or even thousands of dollars, but when two or more appear on the same coin, such as a double die with a clipped planchet or a mint mark error combined with an off-center strike, the rarity and desirability multiply dramatically. This is where the market becomes truly speculative, and values can reach into the millions. But errors aren't the only factor that influence the coin's staggering value. Condition plays a vital role, and collectors use a grading scale known as the Sheldon scale to determine the quality of a coin. A grade of MS60 is considered the minimum for mint state, but coins that reach MS65, MS67, or even MS70, essentially a perfect coin with no post-mint damage, are the true crown jewels of any collection. Now imagine a 1998 D penny with multiple striking errors, a misplaced or doubled mint mark, clear doubling on Lincoln's bust, and perfect preservation with a grade of MS70. That is the holy grail of Lincoln cents, a coin so rare that only a handful, or perhaps just one, may exist. That coin, if authenticated and sold in the right auction environment, could realistically command over $11 million. Even more fascinating is that such coins often escape detection and circulate for years before being discovered, tucked away in change jars, drawers, or inherited collections. Countless people might have passed one by, unaware of its potential value. This is the thrill of coin collecting, the idea that a life-changing treasure could be sitting right in your pocket change. The possibility of finding a coin like this is what drives so many enthusiasts to search roll after roll of pennies, visit estate sales, and attend auctions and coin shows in hopes of making that once-in-a-lifetime discovery. As we continue to explore, it's important to note that authentication is key. With values this high, forgeries are always a risk, and it's crucial for rare coins to be evaluated by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These organizations examine the coin under extreme magnification, check for known error types, analyze metal composition, and certify the coin's authenticity and grade. Having a coin officially graded and encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder also boosts its market value, as collectors trust third-party validation. In recent years, stories of similar Lincoln cents fetching record prices have gone viral, with many 1990s pennies achieving values well beyond expectations due to rare die varieties or striking errors. The 1995 double die penny is perhaps the most famous, but it opened the door for increased interest in later years like 1998, where subtle variations and production quirks went unnoticed for decades. And it's not just seasoned collectors who are getting in on the action. New enthusiasts, armed with smartphones and magnifying glasses, are discovering that coins once considered pocket change could be worth small fortunes. The internet has made it easier than ever to compare images, share discoveries, and list rare coins for sale, creating a vibrant community around penny hunting and error coin collecting. Within this community, certain 1998 D Lincoln cents have taken on a legendary status, with rumored sales and private collections and hush-hush transactions that hint at even greater rarities yet to be documented. Some believe that experimental planchets or transitional errors may exist for the 1998 year, though none have been publicly confirmed. Still, the possibility fuels the imaginations of collectors worldwide and adds another layer of mystique to the already incredible value associated with this coin. The bottom line is this: if you have a 1998 D penny, don't ignore it. Examine it carefully under good lighting, look for signs of doubling, check the mint mark for anomalies, weigh it for planchet errors, and always consider having it evaluated by professionals. Because in a world where a single cent can turn into over $11 million, even the smallest detail can make the biggest difference. And remember, The coin you overlooked today could be the fortune you discover tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting for treasure in the most unexpected places. Sometimes, the tiniest coin carries the greatest story. Where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins you might have in your pocket change right now. Today, we're talking about one of the most intriguing pieces of modern American coinage, the 2003 1-cent penny from the United States, a coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike with its mind-blowing value of up to $21.1 million. A staggering difference from its humble face value of just 1 cent. Now you might be wondering, how on earth can a single penny minted in 2003 be worth millions? Well, strap in and stay with us because we're about to explore all the rare minting errors, mistakes, unique characteristics, and coin collecting phenomena that make this particular penny not just a collector's dream but a symbol of the incredible surprises hidden in everyday currency. The story of the 2003 1-cent coin begins with what seemed like an ordinary production run from the U.S. Mint, but beneath that everyday appearance lies a fascinating array of flaws and anomalies that have created a frenzy among numismatists worldwide. The most sensational reason behind its extraordinary value stems from a rare and nearly mythical mint mark error that surfaced in a small batch of these coins, specifically those minted in Philadelphia and Denver. These mint mark errors, including missing, misaligned, or doubled mint marks, are known to occur due to die misplacements or engraving issues during the minting process, and in the case of the 2003 penny, several coins have surfaced showing clear signs of misstruck or phantom mint marks that do not correspond to their intended origin. On top of that, collectors have identified additional error types that have pushed the value of this coin into astronomical territory. These include off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double dies, each of which brings its own unique story and appeal. For instance, an off-center 2003 penny that is 70% off its mark can easily fetch thousands of dollars at auction, while a coin with a severe die clash or doubling on Lincoln's profile, or the lettering on either the obverse or reverse could be valued even higher. Then there's the issue of transitional errors, which in some rare instances involve a coin being struck on a planchet intended for a different year or composition. For example, while modern pennies are supposed to be made of copper-plated zinc, a handful of 2003 pennies were discovered struck on bronze planchets, a composition phased out decades earlier, which makes them incredibly scarce and desirable. Moreover, the mystery deepens when you consider that some of these error coins were not officially documented by the U.S. Mint, leading to conspiracy theories and speculations that they may have been struck unofficially, perhaps as test pieces or mistakes that somehow escaped quality control and entered circulation unnoticed. It is this aura of secrecy and the difficulty in authenticating and locating these coins that adds an even greater layer of mystique and value to the 2003 penny. Additionally, high-grade uncirculated examples of these error coins, especially those graded MS-67 or above by professional services like PCGS or NGC, have been known to command 5- to 6-figure prices among private collectors and auction houses. The population of such error coins is extremely low, with perhaps only a handful known to exist in pristine condition, thus turning this tiny piece of copper into a multi-million-dollar artifact. It's also important to understand the psychological appeal behind such coins, the thrill of finding a mistake, the possibility of owning a unique piece of American history, and the chance to invest in something that continues to appreciate over time. In fact, some experts argue that the 2003 penny's true value lies not just in its physical error but in the story it tells about the U.S. Mint's operations, human fallibility, and the randomness that can turn everyday objects into historical treasures. And let's not forget the role of collectors and auction platforms that have helped hype and elevate the value of these coins through viral stories and bidding wars that push prices to jaw-dropping levels. When a coin like the 2003 penny makes headlines for being sold or appraised at over $21 million, it doesn't just become a hot topic, it becomes a legend in the numismatic world. Many of these million-dollar transactions involve coins with multiple compounded errors. Imagine a coin that is off-center, struck on the wrong planchet, with a double die, and a mint mark anomaly all at once. Such combinations, while rare, are not impossible and have shown up in a few known specimens, making them the holy grail of Lincoln cents. These compounded errors significantly increase the scarcity and desirability of the coin, making it a prime target for museums, private investors, and elite collectors. Some reports even suggest that a few of these coins have been purchased anonymously by overseas collectors who recognize the global appeal and long-term value of such extraordinary error coins. And while most people toss pennies aside as worthless change, those who pay attention, who look closely at dates, surfaces, and mint marks, might just stumble upon a coin that could change their lives forever. In fact, there are active communities online, including forums, YouTube channels, and social media groups dedicated to spotting, sharing, and authenticating these rare finds, and the 2003 penny is often at the center of these discussions. Stories of everyday people discovering a valuable penny in a handful of change or among inherited coin collections have inspired countless others to start looking more closely at what they carry in their pockets. And it's this sense of possibility, the idea that you could strike gold just by noticing something off, that keeps the excitement alive. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who enjoys treasure hunting, remember that the 2003 1-cent penny is proof that history, value, and rarity can come in the smallest of packages. As you sort through your coins, pay attention to those little details. Look for off-center strikes, check the color and weight, examine the mint marks closely, and don't underestimate any odd-looking coin, because it might just be $1 million mistake. Keep hunting, keep learning, and most importantly, never stop being curious, because the next legendary penny might be waiting right in your pocket. Thanks for joining us in today's deep dive into the remarkable and astonishing 2003 penny. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more amazing coin stories that could one day turn your change into a fortune.